Hey, how's it going? Stephen here from understandingaudio.com with an answer to a question I get all the time. When should I keep my tracks in stereo and when should I make them mono? The answer to that question is pretty subjective and it depends both on the sound source and how it's been recorded. But there are lots of common trends and logical ways to figure this out. For example, a lead vocal that's been recorded with one microphone is going to be mono. So if you know a vocal has been tracked on one microphone and it appears in stereo when you import the tracks or an OMF, you can happily make it mono and pan it straight up the center or however you choose. But what if you don't know how it's been recorded? If you're like me when I was starting out and you're completely paranoid about deleting anything a client has sent you or making a mistake, then take the following approach. So you can see here that I have two stereo tracks, a synth and a bass. We're going to look at the quickest way to find out if these tracks are truly stereo or if they're mono. First, use your ears. Let's have a listen to the instruments together. Did you notice anything there? The next step is to take a look at the waveforms. On this synth track, it's pretty clear to me that the left side and right side are different. When looking at the bass track, it appears to me that both sides are the same. So that would indicate that this stereo track is actually mono. Now if you really want to make sure, start monitoring in mono. You can do this by hitting the mono button on your monitor controller or interface or by inserting a mono plugin on your stereo bus. I'm using Brainworks BX Solo here, and you can see I've reduced the stereo width to mono. This plugin is free, so I'm not using anything extra special to do this. You can do the exact same thing. So let's have a listen to the instruments again and flip back and forth between mono and stereo. It's pretty clear to me that the only difference that can be heard is in the stereo width of the synth track. If you really want to be sure, solo the synth track and go through that process again. That track is definitely a stereo track, so we'll leave it as is. Let's do the same for the bass. Absolutely no difference when monitoring in mono or stereo, so this track is mono. Now, if you don't want to monitor using the stereo bus for some reason, you can quickly pull in the same plugin on the track itself and it'll give you the exact same result. Alright, now we know that the stereo bass track is actually a mono track, so we can split it out into two mono tracks. Then delete one stereo track and one mono track. That leaves us with one mono track. Make sure it's panned down the middle by option clicking the pan control and rename it to whatever you'd like. I'm going to be very adventurous and call mine bass. So now you know that the bass track was mono all along and you've saved some space and voices in your session. You can now repeat this process for any other stereo tracks in your project that you're not completely sure about. I hope this little tip can save you a lot of time and frustration. I know when I was starting out that I used to agonize over decisions like this rather than just figuring out a solution and moving on with more important tasks. There are many more of these that I learned over the years, but there's one in particular that I think will help you no matter what your experience level. Sometimes we're standing in our own way, and that's why mixing can feel really tricky. It's definitely not as complicated as it's made out to be. So I put together a free guide for you that quickly explains one hack that guarantees a unique, professional sounding mix every time. If you like the style of this video, and this tip is of benefit to you, then I think the guide will really help you even more to fast track your progress. So to grab your free guide, just go to getpromixes.com. I've put a link in the description for you too. Just go to the website and download it for free. It's really easy to read and there are lots of action steps for you to take. Just like this video, it's very straightforward and it'll help you progress to get the results that you want. Don't forget to pick it up for free as a gift from me to you at getpromixes.com. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you found this helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one.